Hey YouTube, and welcome back to another review here at Thomas Opent. It's time for another English review, and it's time for an English review of one hell of a beer. I can't imagine that this is going to disappoint, really. So first of all, why an English review? Okay, first let me explain the beer that I have here. This is probably one of the most awesome beer males I've ever had. A few months ago, Brouwerij de Halve Maan from Belgium contacted us from the Dutch Beer Collective if they could send all of us some of their 2019 vintage heritage. I'm just going to say heritage. Maybe they want to pronounce it with a fancy French vibe. I don't know. I'm just going to call it heritage. It's the 2019 edition. It is a barrel-aged version of their quadruple, and it is definitely by far one of the best. The base beer is definitely by far one of the best Belgian quads out there. It is easily available, and it is just fucking beautiful. I love it, and I could drink it all day, every day. This one is barrel-aged. Now, they have a little text here. They have the little label that was on it, and there should be an English part on there. Yeah. The well-known Straffe Hendrik quadruple is the base for this beer, a rich and dark beer that is brewed in the family brewery. The beer ages for at least 1 year in oak barrels in a medieval cellar at the brewery. The barrels are carefully selected by our brewmasters and have diverse origins: Bordeaux, Cognac, Armagnac, rum, Porto. And the use of new wood with American oak gives the beer extra tannins and depth. For the 2019 edition, our brewmasters have yet again made a unique blend of beers by combining different editions of the heritage, which were aged in diverse barrels. Every year the blend is different. A new, distinct, and unique beer is created by our brewers. Now, I figured that I'm going to do this in English for 2 reasons. Well, 3. First of all, I like doing English reviews. I love doing them. Second of all, because the other guys are doing it in Dutch, I figured let's do mine in English. And that's the 3rd reason, because I know that by now I actually have a little bit of an international audience. I know that there are people from the UK, from the US. I know for a fact that I'm being enjoyed in Canada. Hashtag facts. And I figured, why not? Why not? Why the hell not? Let's do this one in English, because, you know, this is just phenomenal, isn't it? Just look at that. Look at that classic labeling. I love it. What can I tell you about the beer? 100% oak aged, I already said that. It is bottle number 8242. 100% oak barrel aged, 11% ABV, 75 centiliters. I am going to enjoy the hell out of this. There's some stuff here. No, I thought there was some stuff on the back. Nothing new. Let's just open this. Now, I'm always a little bit hesitant with these corks. With the cork and cage, because I always put my thumb on to make sure it doesn't pop out by itself, which sometimes they want to do, but this one seems to want to behave. Now, here's the thing, by the way. If you have a corked beer, don't pull out that cork like an asshole, okay? Don't rip it out or whatever. You're going to lose, like with champagne, you're going to lose a lot of the carbonation all at once. Carbonation is necessary for carrying the flavor. You want to open it softly and gently. And also, I'm scared to fucking death. I'm going to have a gusher and have a wet pants here. Wet pants situation sucks. Why am I scared I'm going to have a gusher? Not because I think it's going to happen, but, you know, because sometimes I have that anxiety with beer than other things. I'm so careful right now. Riveting, isn't it? Oh, so exciting. Ooh. Yeah, that's not coming out by itself. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, fuck me. This is just... I'm already getting a whiff of what's going on here, and it is already beautiful. Now, that pours a beautiful dark brown. This is very well carbonated, actually. A lovely, beautiful, like, oaky dark brown. Oh, I'm already salivating. That is a gorgeous quadruple. It's slightly hazy. It definitely has a more ruby red note to it than the standard version, which is probably because of those Bordeaux, Porto barrels that they're using. You know, the port, the red wines, works amazingly well with the quad, by the way. But if you look at that, it just has that thin, whisper thin, sort of off-white, khaki-colored head. It is beautiful. It has that, you know, haze to it, as a quad should. I could look at this all day, every day. It is perfectly looking. I would really, by the way, quickly want to take a chance to thank Brouwerij Halve Maan for sending this over and basically sponsoring this video. Thank you so very much. Just like this is something that here in Europe, here in the Netherlands, in Belgium, people really look out for. You know, this is one of the big releases every year. The Heritage series is amazingly well received every year, and I am just incredibly curious right now what this is going to do. So let's go to the nose first. The nose. This is definitely, so you, first of all, you do definitely get that fresh oak. You get that sort of tannin that is definitely in there, that oaky tannin vanilla note. There is so much red grape, red wine going on in here, like that luscious, full-bodied red wine. It has that sort of sour note, not like it's a sour ale, definitely not like that, but there's this sort of like vinous, soury back end on the nose. Under it, this is gonna have to. Okay, so before I go further into the nose, they say it is best to actually cellar this beer for a little while, and I get it. I don't want to cellar it because I want to drink it now. I also don't want to cellar it because Straffe Hendrik gave us this, Halve Maan did, and I just want to put the review out there. I think that if you give this like a year or two, at least, that barrel aging character will die down a little bit. And the quad will probably rise a little bit in terms of notes in the nose, because right now there's not a lot of that quad coming through. And I think that if I give this a little while, let it air out and breathe a bit, it will develop a little bit more of that quad character. Right now, there's such a big, bold presence of that red wine and those oaky tannins. There is a little bit hint of that plummy, raisiny, datey, figgy character of the quadruple there. And I don't have a lot of experience with things like cognac, brandies, armagnacs. The experience that I have does tell me there is that sort of warming, boozy quality. A cognac, I believe, is a cognac is a distilled drink, of course, and made from grapes. So of course you're going to get that same vibe, but it has that warming, boozy character in it. It doesn't. It smells. There is a certain sharpness to the nose. But not in a very bad way. And now that I'm letting it just air out a little bit and it gets a chance to develop a little bit, that first sort of sharp alcohol edge is going away. You're getting a bit of that herbal spicy tone from the quad. And I often find that some of those red ports also have a little bit of a spicy note to it, like sort of herbal spicy, you know what I mean? Sort of getting that there as well. It is pretty fresh still. So again, I think if you give this 2, maybe even a little bit more than 2 years, maybe give it like 3 or 4, you're gonna get a more developed, more balanced beer. You get the chance for the quadruple itself to develop those port notes, you know, when you age it for a while. So you get that port on port action going on. It smells delicious. I could smell this all day. So there is that sort of, again, that it's not a sour ale, but there is this sort of, when you have some of those lovely red wines, you get this sort of astringency. It's not a sour note, that's the word I was looking for. This astringent note that you get in so many of those lovely red wines. Oaky. This is so incredibly oaky. I could smell this all day, but we gotta drink it as well. Brouwerij Halve Maan, thank you again for sending this beer. I'm gonna have to take a sip and see what she does. Cheers. Ooh. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so again, very heavy on the red wine, very heavy on the port, very heavy on the oak, very heavy on that very grapey character. A little bit vinous, a little bit astringent in the finish, in a very lovely way. It's not as puckering as a sour ale, but it has that sort of soft acidity going on, which I really don't mind in a beer that is a barrel-aged beer that is very much focused on things like Bordeaux, things like port, things like cognac, things like Armagnac. That is just so very straightforward. It fits perfectly. The thing is, though, right now, that there is still a quad in there. There is still a quad in there. It does have that bready malty backbone. It does have that plummy fig, dates, raisin thing going on. God, it's tasty though. I'm sounding a little bit negative because I'm saying that the base beer isn't coming through very well, and I kind of expected that. I kind of expected that for a big beer that was barrel aged for such a long time. I had expected that the barrels would be very dominant right now. Don't mind that in itself. But I think that, again, if you give this a little bit longer, if you give this a little bit of age, I kind of want to try and hunt down a second bottle and put it away for like 2 or 3 years. I think that if you give this that little bit of extra aging, that quadruple will shine a little bit more. It's there, but it's a bit overpowered by these barrels right now. It is, though, a glorious, magnificent beer. Well worth the price. Well worth buying, well worth saving, well worth drinking right now, especially if you like a little bit of an oomph, a little bit of a kick. Like I said, that slight vinous, astringent character. If you like that, drink it right now. The thing is, though, there is, of course, a chance that that's going to get stronger after a while. You always have that chance with something that has a bit of an astringent note to it. It could develop a little bit more, get a little bit heavier over time. It could, fade out and leave you with a little bit more of a balanced beer. But honest to God, though, this is just superb. And this is the perfect beer for a Sunday afternoon. This is the perfect beer for sharing with 3 or 4 people. You can have a little taster. It's fantastic. By yourself, every now and then, I like to open up these big bottles, especially right now. We're in lockdown. Where am I going to go? We have restricted amount of visitors. We can't go out to party. We can't do anything. We're just sitting here at home. Then, treat yourself. Treat yourself and have some fun. And be kind to yourself. This is being kind to yourself. This needs to be savored and enjoyed. Man, I'm still flabbergasted that, So just let me take 1 or 2 seconds there. There's a lot of beer tubers out there that think that they call themselves beer influencers. They think they're amazing. They think they're the hot shit. They think that they should be given all the free shit to promote because look at me, I do my thing on YouTube and on Instagram and give me free shit so I'll promote it and then woohoo. So, never started out like that. Will never finish like that. If I would to have never gotten beer mail from anyone, would have been just as awesome if I have beer mail every day. It's as simple as that. I do it for the lols. I do it for fun. I do it for the community I'm part of right now. The friends I've made. The people, especially 1 or 2 in particular, that I got to know thanks to beer tubing. That's what I do it for. Having said that, the fact that one of those well-known breweries out there contacts us from the Dutch Beer Collective and goes like, you want to try our biggest, boldest thing, can we give that to you? Dude, that's awesome. That's like, that makes me go like, wow. So I'm just still a little bit in awe about all of that. Like, wow. I think that for American viewers, that would be like if Goose Island contacted you and was like, can we send you some BCBS? Like, can we send you a bottle of BCBS so you can review it? That feels like that's what this is for me. That's like fucking wow. Huh. There's just sort of a cherry vibe. So do you know those Mon Cheris? That's like the chocolate with the cherry in it and the booze. You know those? I don't know if they're called Mon Cherie across the globe. I don't know if that's what it's called here. Kind of gives me that vibe. That sort of soft chocolate note, sweet chocolate note. Not that this is a very chocolatey beer, but it has a bit of a chocolatey note there. The grapey quality, that vinous quality, everything, the boozy with the red fruit component that you get from, of course, the red wine, the port and everything. Including, of course, the booziness from the cognac, the booziness from the 11% ABV. All of it kind of reminds me a little bit, it's doing its thing, a little bit of that, like that cherry and chocolate and, yeah. Fuck me, that's delicious. I don't grade anymore in my reviews, but you can check my Untapped to see what I gave this, but this is getting a high grade. This is getting a high grade. This is, like, the mouthfeel is spot on. It's not very thick or anything, but the mouthfeel is spot on to keep it eminently drinkable. Like, you want to take sip after sip after sip. The booziness, there's no real heat. There's a soft warming. There is a bit of booziness, but that's mostly because of, you know, the barrels that were used. Some of them have spirits in them. It gives it a bit of a boozy character without getting too boozy or hot itself. It doesn't actually feel hot in your mouth when you swallow it, you know. It doesn't burn going down. It doesn't have that heat radiating back up. It is perfect in its mouthfeel. It's perfect in its warming quality, like a real winter shipper. And then you get that sort of, without it being too sweet and cloy, because you can get that with a barrel-aged quad very quickly. That vinous note, that astringency, that soft sort of like red wine, soft acidity, just, you know, brings it home and lifts it. It makes it very vibrant, makes it very much alive. It's a glorious beer. Oh, I wish I had some good cheese right now, like old cheese, like that like smelly old cheeses or whatever, and some charcuterie, you know, some what are they called? Like cured meats and shit. This is awesome. This is fantastic, and I'm gonna have no problem finishing this bottle off. I'm gonna go on a live stream in a little bit. I'm gonna hang out with a buddy. Gonna talk about movies a little bit, and yeah, that should be good. This should do me something. This is fantastic. I love the hell out of this. Again, Brouwerij de Halve Maan, thank you so much for sending this over. I really hope, by the way, they sent us 5 bottles. They sent 4 for all 4 members of the Dutch Beer Collective and 1 extra. We could do a giveaway on Instagram. That's been done and done, so you don't have to look on Instagram like, what? That somebody already won it. But I hope the one person that won it is enjoying this as much as I am right now, or has enjoyed it, or will enjoy it in the future. I mean, if this person decides to age this for a little bit longer, I think you're onto something. But again, if you like that sort of little bit of extra sharpness from that vinous character, go for it right now. Enjoy the hell out of this beer. Thank you again, Brouwerij de Halve Maan, for sending this. I'm going to enjoy this. Said that a few times already. That's it for this review. If you liked it, click like. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. Post some comments. Please, I'd love to hear everything you want to say about this beer. About go for it. Go for it. Go for either this beer or go for any type of red wine, barrel-aged beer. Anything that involves like red wine or cognac or port. You know, that's I love those kind of barrel-aged beers, and they're getting a bit underappreciated, I feel, in terms of all the bourbon violence that we got out there. I love bourbon barrel-aged beers, but, you know, go for it. What do you think about red wine, port wine, cognac, barrel-aged beers in general? Love to read some of your comments. Give me some feedback there. And don't forget to check out the Dutch Beer Collective. The link to the website is in the description box as well, because you can find, at some point, don't know when they're going to post it, but you can find the reviews on all of our YouTube channels at some point. I think I'm going to be the first. Hashtag first. I win. Yeah, that's it. Long review. I wouldn't be surprised. I can't see the counter. Can't see the counter on the screen right now, but wouldn't be surprised if this is well over 15 minutes already. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you in another review soon. Cheers.